And now we will send it to our newest segment, Climbing the Ranks.
Welcome to our brand new segment, Climbing the Ranks. In this segment, me and Mark will be tier listing things within Star Wars. Our tier list will consist of 5 tiers, the highest being Commander, then Captain, Lieutenant, Sergeant, and the lowest Cadet. This time around, we will be tier listing clones. Now we have 10 clones picked out at random to go ahead and add to this tier list. Mark, how excited are you to get into this segment? Brand new.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I love doing tier lists, especially with Star Wars because there's so many different things to do tier lists for. So I'm really excited. This is actually might turn into be one of my favorite segments to do. So
okay. Before we get into this, please leave comments with your suggestions of what we should tier list next. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Mark, we are going to go ahead and start with the one that, we probably should start with.
Yeah.
Rex. What are your initial thoughts on the tiers? Where do you want to put them?
I mean, everybody's favorite clone. One of my favorites. I mean, how can you hate the guy? Been through a lot, seen him a lot. Never complain when I see him in a show. Great character. I mean, I gotta throw him in Commander. I don't think there's any better place for him.
I think I have to agree with you, and it makes sense because he is the most seen clone as well. Like you've seen him the most, you've been with him the longest. I shouldn't say the longest because there's ones in Revenge of the Sith that have names and stuff that you've been with longer, but for the amount of screen time you've been with them longer. And I will say, his screen time in Star Wars Rebels, underrated. I think he is phenomenal in that show.
Facts. I loved him in that show too.
So we will go ahead and put Rex into the Commander tier. Starting out hot. It was pretty expected.
I mean, this is true.
Next up, we're going to head over to the Bad Batch, and we're going to do Tech. Now, this one is a tough one for me.
Oh, this one is very tough.
Because the thing is with clones, a very large majority of them are incredibly likable.
Oh, 100%.
So it's hard for me to not want to put everything in like the top at least 2 tiers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I mean, Tech is something else. I can't put him in Captain. Or I mean, I meant to say I can't put him in Commander, but can I?
I mean, you could.
Like he's gone now. He's gone now. I personally, at least my initial thoughts, he would have to go in Captain.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking?
I mean, his character really grew on me. I mean, his one-liners and his sense of humor that he had was so different from everybody else's that it was just funny. And oh man, putting him up there with Rex, man. I mean,
yeah.
Dude, after this season 2, man, I'm like half tempted to put him up there. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, I really am too, but
but I think we gotta be kind of reasonable with it.
Yeah.
I think Captain is a great place still for him, even though my heart wants to put him in Commander.
Mm-hmm.
I think Captain is a great spot for Tech. So.
Okay, we will go ahead and put Tech in the Captain tier. Looking great so far.
Yeah.
Nothing low.
Mm-mm.
I will say, these have been handpicked, so I might have thrown some in here that we'll put low, but we'll see. We'll see. So, next up, we'll go ahead and do DOGMA. DOGMA, just to jog your memory, is the clone in the Umbara arc that eventually shoots and kills General Krell. He is the one that kills him, but he's also the one that wanted to carry out the firing squad and all that. So he has part of him that's likable. That's, he he went ahead and sacrificed basically his life because he went to prison.
Yeah.
To take out General Krell, but he also, prior to that, was going to kill some other clones because of General Krell. So it's a mixy one for sure.
Yeah, this one's definitely mixy for sure.
I personally, just right off the dome, my first thought is to put him in Sergeant because he starts out on a bad foot wanting
Very
to do
much.
that, and he's like surprised that the other clones aren't doing it.
Yeah, very much so.
But he has some redemption.
See, that's why I feel like that's what gets him to the Sergeant tier.
Yes.
Is if he didn't have that, Cadet, but since he has that part of him, I think I'm kind of leaning Sergeant here, I think.
Okay, I'm not even going to second guess it. We'll go ahead and throw Dogma into the Sergeant tier.
Not a bad spot for him.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. But now to move on to our next one, we're going to go ahead and go with Hunter. We're going back to the Bad Batch.
I love the Bad Batch, man. I love the Bad Batch.
Yes, the Bad Batch is very likable, which makes this tough to rank.
Very much so.
And Hunter is, I mean, he is one of the more likable ones out of them.
100%.
It's so. The thing is, I feel like Hunter doesn't stand, at least his character doesn't stand by him. Like, what makes him shine isn't fully just him. Like, I think his relationship with the rest of the Bad Batch and his relationship with Omega is what really makes him great.
Yeah.
But him just himself, I can't put on the same tier as Tech.
Yeah,
yet.
It does kind of suck because he has turned into such a likable guy. And he's really kind of taken on like that father, figure type of role, I guess.
He might be the best dad in Star Wars.
I mean, a lot of characters in Star Wars seem to take this role, and he has taken it probably above everybody else. I think he is great. Right now, though, I hate to put him in Lieutenant, but that might be the best place for him. I mean,
I think so too. It's just, it makes sense purely off of where we have everyone else placed.
At least for now. At least for now.
At least for now.
Yeah. Have to wait for season 3.
Yeah. We have 4 people in, 4 different tiers as well.
Not bad. Not bad.
We're going to go ahead and move in to Fox. Now, this is another very unlikable one, I guess I should say. Not that he's done like a million things that's unlikable. He just killed Fives.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like Fives is on my top 3 probably.
Yeah, so he kills Fives, but the redeeming quality, he probably has some of the best armor in all of any of the clones.
They really dripped him out, dude.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So I think that again makes him probably a good candidate for the Sergeant tier.
Yeah, because I wouldn't put him on the same tier as Hunter.
Yeah, and he's got the redeeming quality of amazing armor.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have a whole lot that he's done that makes him likable, but not a crazy amount that's made him unlikable either. But he's just killed one of the most favorite clones in all of Star Wars, so it makes him drop down a few
He was
tiers.
just following orders though. So
Yeah,
even
that
though
is true. That is true.
even though I don't know if I can forgive him for the 5, but I think
Yeah,
I'm cool with Sergeant. I'm cool with Sergeant.
yeah. We'll go ahead and throw him in the sergeant tier. So next up, we're gonna throw a bit of a curveball here. This is probably, actually no, I don't want to say the most obscure one out of them all, but one of the more unlikely ones to make it to this list. Mayday from the Bad Batch season 2.
Very very underrated for the
Yes.
amount of little screen time that he has had. Well, just the, just like the little arc, but
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean.
And I just he can't be too high, but he can't be low.
Yes, exactly.
So I think the lieutenant tier is perfect for him.
I like it. Hey, I like the lieutenant here. He was
It really is.
the moment you seen him, I knew I was gonna like him, and I liked him a lot. He didn't agree with the, necessarily with the what the Empire was doing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely liked the Republic a lot more. And he kind of brought Crosshair back a little bit.
He is the start of Crosshair's redemption,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah, he helped Crosshair come back, so I
So
like Lieutenant.
we will go ahead and put him in the lieutenant tier and move on to our next one. We'll go back to another very popular one, Commander Cody.
The OG GOAT.
This is the OG GOAT, but I've got a hot take.
Oh no.
He's overrated.
Oh no.
He's overrated.
Oh no. Oh no.
He's overrated for being, yeah, because the thing is, I think he's overrated because a lot of people latch on to him because he is one of the first ever named clones in the movies. In Revenge of the Sith, he's one of the few. I believe there are 3 that actually their names are said, and I believe it is Oddball, Gree, and Cody.
Yeah,
but
you are correct.
I don't understand why Cody. Maybe it's because of his relationship with Obi-Wan is the reason that he is the one that's popular, because I don't think he doesn't have like a crazy amount more screen time than the others. So, because none of them really have a whole lot.
No.
But I think he's overrated, and
oh man.
Maybe what we see in the Bad Batch season 3 will definitely bring me around, because I don't know what they're gonna do with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I have to throw him in the captain tier.
Oh,
he can't be in that top tier, man.
Oh,
what do you think? And maybe you could sway me if you have a different thought.
Well, man, the reason why I attach to him, and I think a lot of people do, is because he's the first clone that we see to turn on just the Jedi. I mean, he got the buzz from Palpatine.
Yeah.
And it's like a flip switch, and he just instantly just told the other clones to just fire on Obi-Wan. That's why I think he leaves a lasting impact.
Yeah.
And after the Bad Batch and seeing him kind of, question the Empire as well, then eventually, running away essentially and leaving, I'm really excited for his character. I would originally, I would have put him in Commander, just because, he's the OG GOAT, everybody loves him, but I think I'd be alright with settling for Captain for now. Just to, I mean, in my opinion, I think he should be Commander, but I can agree with Captain for now. And then
the thing is, I can agree with Commander.
Yeah.
I just think he has a higher ceiling. Like, he has a, because of what can happen in this next season of Bad Batch, I think he can go higher. So I would love to give him room to go higher.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe he doesn't need to do anything to go higher.
Yeah, so, I just think that seeing him being the first one to go through with Order 66, I think that just left a profound impact on his character as a whole. And
yeah.
So
I'll be the final verdict.
All right.
I'll cave. I'll go ahead and put him in Commander.
Let's go.
that still doesn't take away from my hot take that he is overrated. I do still think he's a little bit overrated.
No, I can kind of agree with that. He definitely is a little overrated for sure, but
Because people like want to put him on the same pedestal as Rex, and I just don't think
yeah,
it's
and
particularly close.
nah, Rex is definitely a more fleshed out character by a lot, but
Yeah.
I definitely see your point. So
Okay. So now we'll go ahead and move on to probably the most obscure one on this list. This one is going to be Slick. To jog your memory, he is the clone early on in the Clone Wars that is basically a deserter. He is sabotaging the Republic and going against the rest of the clones. So he is seen in a very bad light, obviously.
yeah.
So I'm thinking this is the probably one and only cadet tier clone here.
Yeah, I'm think I'm gonna agree with you on that.
He's not too known, and he's definitely not liked by probably anyone. I don't know if there's a single Slick fan on this planet.
Yeah, and for what he's known for, it's clear that he's not a fan favorite, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's no way that someone here on Coruscant actually likes Slick. There's no way. There really is.
No way. Absolutely no way.
So now to move on to another fan favorite. Had to throw him on the list. We already talked about him a little bit earlier. Fives. Is this instant commander?
Oh man, put him up there with Rex and Cody.
If anyone's gonna be with them, it's him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I just have such an emotional connection to him.
Mm-hmm.
He did nothing wrong. He was just trying to warn everybody about the inhibitor chips. But then he just gets killed essentially, and for no reason. Like, he was just trying to help everybody.
Yeah.
Man, with my emotional attachment to him, and I think he's top 3. I think I got to put him in commander. I mean, I don't, like you said, if there's anybody else going up there, it's got to be him. So.
Yes, I think so too. I think it's the only right move here is to put him in commander.
Yeah.
And, he's the reason that Rex gets to continue into Rebels. He's the reason that his inhibitor chip comes out. And then at the same time, he's partially the reason that Ahsoka survives.
Ahsoka and Bad Batch, because Rex, goes to the Bad Batch and tells them about the chip. I mean, they knew about the chips, but they got them out. I'm sure there's, other case scenarios that we're, not remembering off the top of our heads, but
yeah, he's the reason for a lot of clones being able to survive and actually live a lot better and not just crushed under the Empire's control.
Yep.
So shout out to Fives. Now on to our final one. Mark, I had to throw him in here, man. The final one is heavy.
Man. I thought this was heavy, and this one's gonna be tough too, because God, he's such a great character, man.
I know. That's tough.
Yeah, this one's really tough.
It's tough because he has very little screen time. He is in the Domino Squad arcs but he is Domino Squad essentially over half of them die in one episode or one arc, I should say. Sorry, but you do see a decent amount of them. He had a big impact on 99. You see a lot of personality out of him there, so he's up there for that. He's got that likability out of him. And then he probably has the best death out of any clone. It's the
best way to go out, man. The best way to go out.
It's close. It's between him and like Hardcase.
That's true.
So those two are very high up there in terms of their send off. So where's your thought at? Where's your thought at right now?
This one's so tough because, like, Like I said, it's like with Tech, man. My heart wants to put him in Commander just because even the little screen time he had, man, it was just his character was on point. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how you could dislike him, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But my brain is telling me that I would be cool with Captain
You'd be cool
because I
with.
feel
I'm thinking just based off of what else we have in the tier list. I might be thinking Lieutenant, and he's one of my favorite clones ever.
mm-hmm.
But it just makes sense because I think he's very similar to Mayday, like
Yeah,
in
that's true.
his charm
Yeah, that's
and
true.
the amount of screen time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's very similar to Mayday. He's not on Tech's level to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Lieutenant is probably a perfect spot for him because he's definitely not Sergeant or Cadet.
No, no way. Yeah, I'd be cool with Lieutenant. I think it's just my heart kind of talking more so than my
Yeah.
brain is just
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how I was talking with CODY, so
yeah.
it's okay. So we'll go ahead and throw him in the lieutenant tier.
Yeah.
And that is the tier list. So to go ahead and go over it again, the commander tier, we do have Rex, CODY, and Fives. Captain tier, Tech by himself.
Yep.
There were a lot of people that could have been in this tier though, whether it was someone from commander or someone from lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
But then going over lieutenant, we have Hunter, Mayday, and Heavy. I think Hunter is clear, like the highest in this tier, but just not quite enough to get up to the next tier. And then in Sergeant, we've got Fives and not Fives. My bad. Wow.
Dude, that would be really bad if we had Fives down there.
That would be very bad. Dogma and Fox, sorry. And then in the cadet tier, the very lowest, we do have Slick. If leave it in the comments, please. If you are somehow a Slick fan,
that's what I was gonna say.
By all means, let me know because I don't think I've ever met one. That would be insane if there was a Slick fan in the comments.
Oh man.
Thank you for watching Climbing the Ranks. This is our premiere of this segment. Please let us know in the comments if you liked it, and also let us know any other tier lists you would like to see out of this segment. And with that, we'll go ahead and send it back to the boys at the desk.